Namaste, my name is Jennifer Nancy and I am the South Sales Manager.
Namaste, I'm Kevin Darislanian, VP Sales for APAC MENA region for Cibes Lift.
So today we are going to discuss about Cibes home lifts in details. So Kevin, why do you think customers choose Cibes home lifts?
To begin with, I think we need to understand what traditional lifts are like. So traditional lifts, which are we call traction lifts with the cables, they have a few structural requirements that can be very difficult for homes. They need a deep pit. They need a big machine room space for the motor to, run those cables. And then they need a full concrete structure within the home. And whereas a Cibes lift runs on a different kind of technology called screw-driven technology, where we have an endless toughened steel screw. The lift is attached to that screw by a nut, and as the nut turns, it moves up and down. Now that means that we need no pit, no machine room, and we come with our own glass shaft. Well, that's a lot of structural advantages, which means that we basically have two types of clients, split about 50-50. 50% of them are users with existing homes. And because the home is existing, it's extremely expensive or difficult or even impossible to do the civil works required to install a lift, because you'd need to use up a ton of space, dig through slabs and things like that.
So basically pre-planning everything in advance.
I mean, for existing homes, people have lived in their home for 30 years, they didn't plan for a lift, right? And in those cases, our solution is plug and play, very useful. The other type of clients that we have is clients who have specific functional requirements that traditional traction lifts can't achieve. So for example, you're installing a lift in a penthouse, you can't do a pit. Or you want your lift to go all the way to the rooftop, then again, that's a limitation because you can't put the machine room there. Or you want a full glass lift in the middle of the stairs, then and you don't want to waste too much space. That's where the screw-driven technology really has advantage.
In fact, I do have one of my customer who had this limitation of he really wanted to take the lift up to his terrace level, but he couldn't because he was having different options in the market of traction, hydraulic, but none of them could go to the rooftop. So that's when he found about Cibes, and that's how we have convinced him to go for this lift, because he really wanted to take the lift up to the terrace and he wanted to enjoy the view and the time with his family.
You're putting your finger on something very important here, which is Cibes is often described as a luxury home lift, and it is because you've got the whole Swedish quality component and the customization and all of that. But we begin with a very real functional need.
Right.
And after that, clients can come in the showroom and they can choose their designs, etc. And that's where the luxury kicks in. Absolutely.
That's right. And also, I have another case wherein it was in the middle of the staircase, which is of course an ideal location to put up a lift. However, the space was extremely less. They had space constraints, but they wanted to put the lift over there and wanted to showcase the lift over there. So in that case also, I think the Cibes lift is one of the best choice because it's extremely space saving as well.
Well, I mean, if you could technically put a traction lift in those cases, but then you end up with tiny stairs,
Right.
and the cost of breaking your stairs, digging your pit, building that machine room on top, making sure the whole roof slab is waterproof after you've broken through it, it's going to be higher than getting, a perfectly space-saving lift that's going to give you more space and probably look a lot better. All right, that's all for now. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you in the next Cibes talk. If you have any suggestions for topics, please leave them in the comments down below. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.